they went out of the phone business. And I had to learn it in a couple of months before last year's awards. So in a few more months, I'll be able to get the S23. And I'm not one of those people that have to get something just because it's new, but I'm more in function now. I've done so many things with the video, the phone, and photos, and without doing any kind of Photoshop, but it's all pretty convenient on this S22. But let me see. I want to go to recent, and I see it right here. Caruso, I finally got you on the air, and this is live, so I'm not afraid of roller coasters, but at a couple times I did feel that weird fear of a roller coaster, and I went on anyways. That's what it's like calling you right now live. I've got no excuses.
Man, it's no big thing. It's the same as recorded. It just, it's just that you don't have to worry about reposting it. That's all.
Exactly. And once you push that button, there's no turning back.
Nah, it's okay, man. It's all good.
Theoretically,
it's all
I'm
good.
Safe. I'm so glad to finally, with only 2 more months to go, my goal was to feature in some way everybody who I met last year at last year's ISA Awards. So I finally got you.
It's an honor to be on, man.
I caught a little bit of an interview, and I don't listen to other interviews because I don't want my mind to be polluted with a bunch of preconceived things that I got from someone else. But I did listen to the first few minutes of your interview yesterday on a Montana country station.
Oh yeah, what was Wyoming countries? Yeah, Jeff Rickett. Yeah, Kicks 96.5.
Yep.
And it was a great one.
And I noticed that he exuded one of my favorite behaviors of online personalities. He actually watched your videos and says, where'd that couch come from? And I'm like, God, that's the same thing I would do. But I do notice that the backdrops of your videos are very unique. And
well, I mean, we try to keep it really organic, and we're not going for Hollywood. We're going for something that people can say, wow, they did that, and they're not in Hollywood. We want to make the wow factor be real, organic, and, we're down in the trenches, we're doing things, we're trying to exceed expectations using the minimal amount of ability in financed equipment and things like that. So, yeah, we always strive for something that, that kind of like stands up and makes an aha moment.
Exactly. I'm going to go ahead and start this because I just played the intro and everything and then called you up. I want to start it off with a couple of scriptures because it has to do with your style of lyrics. You always exude, I want to use that word exude again, faith and hope. It seems like that's in all of your songs. So I want to start out with a scripture in James chapter 2 verse 18, faith without works. It says, yea, a man may say, thou hast faith and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. So there's nothing bad about going out and doing good, and that's what you do. You're putting your works to work in lyrics and song. So with hope, my big thing was faith without hope is dead, but that's not scripture. Faith without works is actually dead. Or anyways, Proverbs 13:12, hope deferred maketh the heart sick, but when the desire comes, it is a tree of life. So those are a couple of my favorite scriptures. And when I met you, you told me, I asked you what the 308 is for in ghost training. You told me it's John chapter 3 verse 8. The wind blows where it listeth, and thou hearest the sound, but cannot tell where it comes and where it goes. And so is everyone that is born of the Holy Spirit. I thought that was fantastic. That was awesome.
Well, it's, I can't take much credit for that, Mike. I mean, that was kind of given to me by God himself in the book. So, I mean, yeah, I'm glad that I did it actually happen to actually be a part of my journey. And I wanted to make my journey as genuine and real as possible. I mean, anybody can come up with a name for a band or throw something out there and make it sound cool, but when it has an unbelievable, meaning and sets a foundation for the artistry or the music, it means so much more. It's kind of like the difference between saying something and having something to say. You know what I mean? So 308 Ghost Train is that kind of a message that, has something to say. I'm proud of that part. I'm glad, I'm honored and humbled to have been able to be the one to represent that.
Well, it's obvious that you do actually go by that, and you know exactly what that verse says. It's like when we're following the Lord, we're not going to know where we're going to go, and sometimes where we're going to go from to some other place. We just don't know until it happens, and that's what it's been like since I met you. You told me a few things, and I'm glad I got it on record, because I was actually filming the line on the red carpet, and we were talking with what's his name, the country singer. He just came out.
Stick Tight.
No, not Stick Tight. Stick Tight was there, and another guy. He came out with another country. You Ain't Country.
I remember talking to Stick Tight, and I'm trying to remember who else I was talking to. Oh gosh, man, I'm drawing a blank. I know Stick Tight was standing right behind me, so I turned around. You came up to us, and he was behind me, and you were there, and I think Caitlin May was behind him. And
it's going to come to me during the interview. But anyways, I love that new song he's got, "You Ain't Country," until your boots are dirty. But I was asking you how you navigate through the business, and you were telling me that there's promoting industries and things like that. So now you're with Resting Dove Records, and it's going to switch to Grace Records. And I kind of leaped up. I mean, Resting Dove Records was my independent label that I started on, and Grace Records of Nashville came along and signed me. So now I'm a Grace Records of Nashville artist, and will be for a number of years now. I just got done, discussing and agreeing to a multi-year deal. So I'm going to be keeping Resting Dove Records and using it as an incubator label for artist development. I won't be running it anymore. Angie will, and she's also going to have to go with me too. She's going to have some double duty going, but I'm going to still keep it around to try to help people understand how to really promote and what promotion is all about, and that you do have to be able to. You do have to invest in yourself. I try to tell people all the time, I have a lot of money invested in myself. I have a lot of money, my own money, invested in myself. And I'm glad I did it, because it was an investment that I believed in and I knew would pay off, and it has paid off. So the group
I try to encourage artists to do that.
Yeah, the group Rush had their own record label. They had to do it because they were doing their own music. So they had to make their own record with their own record label. And that's their most sought after records now, instead of 2112 and a couple of the others. But I was watching a documentary about them, and I'm like, wow, that's interesting. The very first things in your career is what people are after.
Right, and that's going to probably happen to me too when it comes back around. First, I'm going to have to, Grace Records Nashville is launching me now, and will be for the next few years. And then what'll happen is people will want to come back around and hear what was before, and some people will know about it, and then they'll want that. And I mean, that's great, because I still own all those records. I own all the masters. Yeah. I own all the publishing. So that'll probably be a big payday for me when that that time comes. But all in all, I mean, I haven't done bad in my career, and it just keeps getting better and better, Mike. I mean, I'm actually one of the blessed, fortunate artists out there that are actually making a living doing what they do, and that didn't come without a lot of forging in fire and a lot of sculpting and a lot of losses.
Exactly. There's a price to pay.
Yeah.
Every good preacher will warn you that there's a price to pay. It's not going to be a bed of roses. Whenever you set out for something, you just have to be diligent, and it might be just for a season for some, but God knows, and it's like, wow, who am I? You feel like that sometimes. Oh, but that's what the radio guy in Montana, he brought that out to where you answered, I'm just trying to keep from getting too high in the clouds because you can't see. You can't see the barn for the roses or whatever when you're up in the cloud. You have to be cool and you have to be aware.
Yeah, and I did mention to him, and I'll mention it to you, is that just because I stepped off in a bed of roses, okay, this time, I mean, most of my career has been stepping off in a bed of poo-poo, okay, or doo-doo.
That was
funny. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so I mean, that's true, and I share that with everybody because it hasn't always been roses, but, perseverance, tenacity, relentless pursuit of endeavor. That's why they call me Train, because I just have those traits that, I will not say die and I will not give up. I mean, I just won't give up. Huh?
It's stick-to-ativity.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing I always try to encourage other artists coming up, and even artists that are, I know, is that, if things aren't working out the way you want them to right now, just because they're not moving fast doesn't mean they aren't moving forward. But if you feel like that there's some kind of holdback, the first thing you need to do is check your craft. It all starts with the songs. Okay, you have to develop, and I'm going to use a word you said to me in a private message. You have to develop the knack for writing songs that people want to hear. And you've got to be able to always improve upon your craft. Beginning carpenters don't go out and build mansions. They learn how to be master carpenters first, right? And the songwriting's a craft just like carpentry or just like anything else. Okay, and you can find the spiritual overtones in that because there's plenty of them. But it takes time and it takes dedication and commitment. It takes a lot of trial and tribulation, and just effort and failure in order to succeed.
Exactly. And that's why I chose from what Angie. Oh, big shout out to Angie also, because the first thing that a lot of people were concerned about is Angie going to be sticking with you, but I didn't have doubts because you didn't mention promotion manager. You mentioned a different manager that you're going with. So you've got two managers, plus you got the BMI records behind you.
Well, here's the thing, Pete. There's different positions within your career. Okay, so Jimmy Adams, he's my manager now. He manages my whole career. He's in charge of. He's the guy that when you have him, that he's make sure that you're making a living and you're getting what you deserve for whatever it is that you're doing, whether it be commercials, TV shows, live performances, you name it. So he's the manager, an overall manager of my career. Angie's the promotion manager for Resting Dove Records, which of course I ran, and she works for me and does a wonderful, outstanding job. And Angie's not going anywhere. I mean, Angie's staying with me. I mean, so if I move up, she's moving up. But at the same time, I want to give her an opportunity to keep the label, alive in a sense. Maybe not really full force, but every once in a while, there's something comes along that's worth developing, and that's why it'll be there, and that's why she will, be running that. But no, Angie's going to be, because even though Angie's the promotions manager for the label, when it comes to this when I move up into the major independent realm here, Angie's going to kind of be, she's going to be my sidekick. I don't know what you would call it, my administrative assistant. She's going to, take care of everything that she does now, except on a different level. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's not going anywhere, man. She's staying with me all the way for the whole ride. I mean, listen, I got to tell you, this one thing that I hope I get to make a speech this year. If I do, God willing, that I want to tell people about walking by the piece of coal and that is really a diamond inside. I'd rather have an ounce of heart than a pound of experience. And I surrounded myself with an ounce of heart from all the people that work around me, from Amanda, who does all the filming, to Angie, to Alicia, who does a lot of stuff for me on the internal and publishing side. And, and even Angela Eidenmiller, okay, who came on to, help me with some social media stuff, who's part of my team, in a capacity. And they're all aces, man. They're just all aces, and they're all women who have just unbelievable heart, unbelievable brilliance, unbelievable inner drive, and they're just great souls, man. And I have a knack for knowing great souls. I have a knack for knowing bad ones too, but I've got a knack for knowing good ones, and Angie's one of those good ones. She's really is.
Yeah, I've often said that I'm prone to a bad judge of character because of the people that I associate with. All of a sudden, I start finding out how much other people hate them. I'm like, well, that's weird. I think he's pretty cool. I think she's all right.
Yeah. Well, I look at it like this. I think, and look, especially in this business, Mike, I think a lot of people don't have the foresight to see the value in someone who can possibly believe in them so much that they will do their part to help push the artistry. And people are looking too much for the big names or the people that they know, and those people aren't looking at these artists, okay? Not yet, anyway, because they're not there. Most people are always looking too far ahead of themselves when there's people right in front of them that, if they believed in you, would go to the ends of the earth for you.
Yeah,
and that's Amanda May and Angie O'Brien. It's all those girls, all those ladies. They go to the end of the earth for me.
Yep.
It's just, they believe in it, and it's humbling and honorable. They believe in the artistry. They believe in the man, and that's, to me, I mean, I can't ask for anything else, Mike.
Exactly, and in a world where we're supposed to be promoting ourself and ourself only. We're afraid to say names, and it's like earlier on in the interview we mentioned Gary Matheny. We're talking about Angie, and it came to me, Gary Pratt. He just
Gary Pratt, yeah. Gary's got some good. Yeah, I think I did meet him in the line. Yeah, yeah.
So
Gary's
we were
a good
all
dude,
together
man.
talking, and you were and what you told me, or what you were telling us, is something that I'm like, man, I am going to pray for this guy, that. Because you were talking about how there's people who say that they're going to promote you and they really don't, and it just falls by the wayside. And a few months later, you mentioned BMI with your very first solo project from the 308, the song "You're My" or "Dreams." You got a BMI contract or whatever it is with BMI. And
no, I got a distribution with Warner Music Group.
Oh, that's right. I got the
Warner. Yeah, you're confusing. I'm an ASCAP writer, but I got a distribution deal with Warner Music Group for my solo thing, coming off of the 308 Ghost Train.
Exactly that.
Yeah, I was getting lost there for a minute when you were saying BMI. I was getting lost, and I had to think through what it was, but that's what it was. But,
yeah, it's WMG. I got the acronyms wrong.
Yeah, WMG. So listen, all these little steps have led to where I am today now. And heck, man. And it's the funny thing, the work's just about to begin.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yep.
Yeah. How about that?
Well,
I said it the other day in my post, 50 million streams, 49 nominations, 30 global releases, and 9 wins, and it works just starting. I'd say, for some people, that's just too much to even think about, but for me, I embrace it. I'm ready.
Yeah. Well, we talked about the darker days, and that's why I chose your song, Dark Days. And then I've got You're My Blues. It's a perfect lineup because it starts at the bottom and it leads to a crescendo with Moving On. But Dark Days, You're My Blues, Dreams, from all this from Moving On, and then Moving On, the title track.
Yeah. Those are four pretty good choices, Mike. I think they say a lot about this transition that we're in right now. Those 4 songs say a lot about that. I'm going to touch on your prayers about the faith and hope. Faith, hope, love, and grace are what I strive for. I mean, they're everything. They're the vehicles that I would love to ride upon through life. So, faith and hope are a big part of that. So
exactly. And you know what? That when you have faith and hope and love, actually in every fiber of your beings, your pursuits are going to emanate that. And that's one of the things that I was really impressed with all of the artists that I heard last year. There's one thing that they all have in common is when they sing, they raise their voice and they're passionate. Like that's all.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see much room for anything less, especially in a business where you are trying to be heard in a room full of white noise. I mean, across the industry where there's so much music to be heard that you can't even begin to consume it. You almost have to stand up above, head and shoulders above, in order to even get a chance to be heard.
Exactly. Well,
it's crazy.
I'm real glad that I could have you on the show. I can't tell you how thrilled I am. And
I appreciate it, man. I'll come on your show anytime. It doesn't matter where I go in this career, and I'll always be. One thing about me is that I hear a lot of people say is that I'm accessible. Well, yeah, why not? I mean, why not be accessible? I have, I love to share my stories and share my journey, and I realize not everybody wants to hear. Believe it or not, it's something not everybody wants to hear the joy, but that's all I'm trying to do is share the joy, but some people don't want to hear the joy, and, but most people do. So that's what I do. I'm going to share my joy, and hopefully it touches somebody's heart and it, makes them feel good for a moment or for a day or for who knows long, maybe even changes them forever. I don't know. Yeah. My job is to sing. My job is to write the songs and to sing them, and the messages. God's job to put the messages in the hearts of who needs it and for what they need it for. And it's not my job to question that at all.
Exactly. People are skeptical when they hear songs about hope and joy. They're like, well, that's fine for somebody that hasn't gone through much. It's like being sized up, but that's what struck me when I was going through your record. You didn't leave the dark days out. So
yeah, because if anybody thinks for 1 minute that this artist hasn't been through hell, okay, that's the only way I got to heaven. I've been to hell and back, and I have stories that are just like a lot of other people's that are very traumatic and trying, and they're doing tribulations and then now I'm starting to have some triumphs. That's because I fought my way through. It's like, I take the saying from the Rocky movie. Sylvester Stallone had a great line in there. It's not how hard you can hit. It's how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. And I just can take a pummeling. I've been beat to death several times, my friend.
Yeah.
So I just keep coming back. Yeah, I won't give up. I won't go down. I'll go down, but I'm getting back up off the canvas and I'm fighting until I win. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the truth. That's the truth. It's all God's will.
Well, I want to congratulate you on the progress. There's leaps and bounds just over the past less than 12 months since I met you.
Yeah.
Also, you've got a very close relationship with a beautiful woman in your life, and in my opinion, that a guy isn't what Dean Martin's saying. A man ain't a man unless he's got someone to say "I love you." And
well, absolutely,
I
and
absolutely believe that you.
Yeah.
That a guy has to have a good woman behind him, or else he's on his own. He's working on his own strength, other than God. So
yeah, the greatest man in the world has an even greater woman behind him.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Yep.
so she's going to be the light. She's going to be the fuel. She's going to be the inspiration. She's going to be the motivation. She's going to pull you when you're too high. She's going to kick you up off the ground. She's going to do all the things it takes to keep you moving towards your destiny.
Exactly.
That's the greatest woman in the world, and I happen to have one. Her name's Amanda May.
Exactly. Well,
Yep.
Thank you for being on the show, and I can't wait to see you again in Atlanta.
Me too. You know, I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait, and I'm just so excited. I think there's so much. Boy, I'll tell you, it's scary. There's so much talent. Good Lord, it was so much talent. I don't know how these judges are even going to decide. I mean, it's just really good Lord. It's good though. I mean, a good healthy competition and pool of talent is always a good thing. You know what I mean? It helps to strengthen the group as a whole. You know, ICE, I can't say nothing. I can't say anything but great things about the ICE organization. Being a part of that organization is what's led to a lot of things that have happened to me. The win last year was paramount in my career. And, you know, I tell Tammany, I thank her all the time. You know, she runs a wonderful organization. She's a wonderful person. And, yeah, I have to give Tammany some props for, first giving me a membership, and then, encouraging me along the way. And then even last year after winning, it was like, gosh, my whole world started to change, Mike, and you can see where it hasn't even been a year,
Exactly. Yep. Oh, and I saw that Tammany posted today to keep our acceptance speeches to a minute.
Don't tell Brother Brian Hedges that. Don't tell Brother Brian Hedges that, because he wins one. He's going to take his time.
Yeah, there should have been a LOL and a laughing face behind what you said.
Yeah, definitely LOL on that. I love that from last year when Brian went up there and did that. But he was excited. He's a good brother, man. There's so many good. I've made so many great friends in ISA. I have a group of people that I've kind of gotten into a fold with, and they're just great guys, man. Roland Jewett and Gino Gilbert and Arliss Walker and Brian Hedges, and just a bunch of guys, man, that are like, they're just, we stay in touch. That's what organizations like they create fraternities, Mike. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They create a fraternal state of mind, which is cool.
Yep. I've got a few, a handful of friends that I've met through ISA and the world of indie music, that it is like a fraternity. And one guy, he keeps telling me we're family, and I'm like, you know what? That's cool.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of good that going around, and listen, that's all good stuff, man. We need more of that in this world.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I encourage it too. I mean, I'm definitely behind all that.
Yep. Well, thank you again, Caruso. Oh, that's one more thing I wanted to bring up. Talk about being where you're coming and where you're going, like the wind and the Holy Spirit. You did something unusual or unexpected, because you went solo from 308 Ghost Train, and then you brought the some elements of 308 Ghost Train, and it's still winning awards. So are you still going to be singing with the lineup of 308, the band?
Well, here's what's happened. I mean, I have a 9-piece band now. I have you see, the the artistry is going to incorporate the new adult contemporary under the Caruso, and then the new Caruso Christian contemporary, and it's going to incorporate some of the 308 Ghost Train. So we spent so much money branding both names. We thought, well, it just makes sense to call the band the 308 Ghost Train because that's the way it started. So it's Caruso and the 308 Ghost Train. And we just had our first rehearsal again to get ready to go on the road. We're going to be going on the road soon, probably in September, October. But we just had our first rehearsal last night, and it was just a wonderful experience, man. I'm so happy with what's going on.
Yeah, the band Wings, it was referred to as Paul McCartney and Wings. And
Wings?
Yep. So now with you, it's Caruso and 308 Ghost Train. There's nothing wrong with that. That's cool.
Yeah, I think you're giving me a little too much. You put me a little too much higher. Paul McCartney's like a legend, man. I'm not there yet, but I appreciate that. But it's kind of sort of the same thing, I guess. You go from the group, then you come back and you call yourself, and you use your name, and I think some of it was just purely logical. Like we had the name put out there. We needed to keep the name. I really do. I felt strongly about keeping the name 308 Ghost Train within the new band package. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's made me who I was. You know, I mean, I can't abandon that.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. Because every time I play your music, and I go on to Spotify and stuff, and it's like, you know, once in a while, believe it or not, I go to Anthony Train Caruso and 308 Ghost Train on Spotify and just turn it on and drive to it, listen at home. So, how do people get a hold of you?
Well, you know, there's two artistries on Spotify. Spotify's kind of interesting because we haven't combined it yet. So you either have to go to 308 Ghost Train on the one side or A Caruso. You use the word A. They separate me because there's like 15, 20 people calling themselves Caruso all over the world. So A Caruso on Spotify. You can also look up a playlist, Mike. This is Caruso. If you go to that playlist and follow it, it has all the songs in one playlist. I created that myself so to make it easier for everyone to find the artistry. So that's the easiest way to get to the music is This Is Caruso playlist. And
perfect keywords for internet search. Everybody wants to Google everything. This is Caruso. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you go to that, you can listen to all the stuff, the Christian stuff, the adult contemporary, the band, the alt rock. I mean, it's all in one playlist. There's like 30 songs in there, I think, and I keep adding them every time I release one. I got a couple coming out in the next couple months. I got 2 more coming out in the next 8 weeks, 16 weeks. I've got 2 more coming out, and they'll be up in there too. So every time you listen to it, you know, I'll be adding songs to it. You know, I'm going to be releasing another. I just released 2 songs, My Walk in the Wind and World Without Love, and I'm going to be releasing The Man Who Laughs and Take My Hand next, and that'll be probably in July or August. I'll start releasing those. But, you know, there's going to always be music coming, brother.
Awesome. All right, brother, I want to go ahead and let you go. It's already in late afternoon where you're at, 11:30, 12, 2:30, earlier afternoon. Cool.
I got another radio interview, my brother, in an hour.
All right, man.
Get ready for another one.
I'll listen to it now because I don't have to worry about it. I already got you.
Okay, my friend. Well, we're good. Man. I got to get ready for this next interview, and I appreciate you having me on your show. It's always an honor and a pleasure, and I'll come back anytime you want me.
All right, man. God bless, and looking forward to everything else. Can't wait to have you.
All right, buddy. I'll see you soon, man.
All right, man.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye. And that was that. Let's go ahead and wrap up the show with Dark Days from the Moving On LP from Caruso, Anthony Train Caruso. And don't forget, this is Caruso. Look that up. Perfect keywords. So Dark Days followed by You're My Blues, and then Dreams, and then the title track, Moving On. on the Lookout Guy podcast.
We're all still at the same moon, thoughts flooding our brains like a monsoon. Wondering if you're wondering about things too. Thoughts tangled up like a web. Don't wanna get caught up in them. I'm frozen here, no matter where I move. There's some things time just can't erase. Wish I could get out of my head, but somehow it's comfortable enough to stay wrapped up in my mind's jail space. I'm sentenced to solitude, it has me doomed. Maybe it's just a phase, oh, 'cause even the moon has its dark days. Has its dark days. Feeling like everyone sees me willfully disappearing. I should be breaking free of chains that I can't see. Instead I'm stuck inside, reminiscing on the times. Why can't I leave the past behind and clear my mind? There's some things time just can't erase. Wish I could get out of my head, but somehow it's comfortable enough to stay wrapped up in my mind's jail space. I'm sentenced to solitude, it has me doomed. Maybe it's just a phase, oh, 'cause even the moon has its dark days. Has its dark days. Start the whip and the lightning strikes gave me a glimpse. Thought I saw hope up ahead, tried to lead me somewhere, lead me somewhere. There's some things time just can't erase. Wish I could get out of my head, but somehow it's comfortable enough to stay wrapped up in my mind's jail space. I'm sentenced to solitude, it has me doomed. Maybe it's just a phase, oh, 'cause even the moon has its dark days. Has its dark days. Has its dark days. You swept me up when my heart was dust, cleaned up the mess, bandaged up my trust. You lit the way with fire in your eyes. And if the world stops spinning round, the sky can crash into the ground. Your love would be armor over me. You're my blues when the skies turn gray. You're the sun shining down on a cloudy day, like a rainbow dancing all across the dome. You're the sweet tea I'm sipping on. I never swam in water so deep, stood on the edge and took a leap. You brought the Superman out of me. And if this love is just a game, you'll never once hear me complain. 'Cause where I landed is finally pain free. You're my blues when the skies turn gray. You're the sun shining down on a cloudy day, like a rainbow dancing all across the dome. You're the sweet tea I'll be sipping on. When she speaks, I hear my favorite song. When she touches me, I feel the heat. She's like 4 on the floor. She don't miss a beat. You're my blues when the skies turn gray. You're the sun shining down on a cloudy day, like a rainbow dancing all across the dome. You're the sweet tea I'll be sipping on. You're my blues when the skies turn gray. You're the sun shining down on a cloudy day, like a rainbow dancing all across the dome. You're the sweet tea I'll be sipping on. You're the sweet tea I'll be sipping on. You're the sweet tea I'll be sipping on. You swept me up when my heart was dust. Many nights I have dreams, oh, but I don't know why you keep coming to me. Many nights I'm in a place, I see the discomfort that rests upon your face. I'm mistaken, dreams, they seem so complicated. Is the message really cryptic, or will it turn out so simplistic? Many nights I watch the tide, can't wait to close my eyes, see you in my mind. I still pretend, oh, that you really exist, my imaginary friend. Pardon me if I'm mistaken, dreams, they seem so complicated. Is the message really cryptic, or will it turn out so simplistic?
Caruso. Anthony Train Caruso. That was Dreams. Before that, You're My Blues and Dark Days. Now coming up is his title track, Moving On, and the bonus track, as I always promise, something different. And I've got it from Gary Pratt, Till Your Boots Are Dirty. To conclude the Lookout Guy podcast. What is today? This Tuesday, June 13th, 2023. God bless you guys and have a wonderful day. Everything on Spreaker is free to download.
Headed north up towards the bay. Just hit the top of the skyway. I see clouds gathering for miles. Thought I saw one wave goodbye with a smile. You see, a man can't live where the sun don't shine. Thoughts and dreams that live in dark corners of his mind. And if you're sitting at a table with fear and hate, dining on hope with a dash of life and death debate, just keep moving. Just keep moving on. Just keep moving. Just keep moving on. Crossing over into Georgia, through the Carolina Pines. Gotta get to that girl from Hay Springs. She'll balance me and clear my mind. You see, a man can't lose what he can't find. Nothing really matters if you don't mind. But when you're sitting at a table with fear and hate, dining on hope with a dash of life and death debate, just keep moving. Just keep moving on. Just keep moving. Just keep moving on. And dreams that live in dark corners of his mind. And if you're sitting at a table with fear and hate, dining on hope with a dash of life and death debate, you better wait or just keep moving. Just keep moving on. Just keep moving.
All right, coming up, Gary Pratt, Till Your Boots Are Dirty.
Cause your four-wheel drive is the latest step inside that smoking hot, fresh off the lot. You ain't country cause those boots you're wearing wear it shine up like a diamond glaring. Don't mean a thing, at least not to me. You can make that claim, it don't work that way. You gotta earn that name. You ain't country till you've been down tipping, till you've been skinny dipping with something sweet. Off in some creek. You ain't country till you stuck a truck knee deep down in a field of mud where back in the sticks. That's how it is. And it's a bed and back up early. You ain't country no, till your boots are dirty. You ain't country till you help your neighbor do someone in need a favor. Take off the slack and give something back. You ain't country till you pull a plow behind a tractor, break some ground, stir up some dust. Yeah, that's a must. Life rolls on